Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's kind of a cool day now that most of that tropical depression has made it through our area. There's still a chance for some rain tomorrow, but I think it's mostly through the area, but it didn't get a ton of rain. I mean, most people are reporting a quarter to a half inch, and it rained for almost 24 hours straight, but it's definitely dropped the temperature around here. Today has been a busy day in the news, and I guess that's to be expected. It's a Friday, so we'll see how the weekend fares for us when it comes to all the crazy stuff. Gold broke another record. Futures were over $2,600 an ounce. And of course, as you all know, it doesn't mean that gold has increased its value. It means that the US dollar has lost value, because gold's value is pretty much always stays the same, right? So it just shows that, you know, we're spending more money. We announced just this week, the Biden administration, that they're sending hundreds of millions over to, Ukraine. The amount of money spent with all the illegals coming in, there's a lot. $1 trillion so far this year spent just in paying interest on our debt. So yeah, the gold's it's going up, which means the dollar's going down. Springfield, Ohio, more news coming out of there for the last couple of days. The city council meeting, they tried to have it. They ended up having to shut it down. There was a bunch of threats to that. And it's also being reported in the news that 2 schools have had to evacuate in Springfield due to just problems with Haitians and threats and that sort of stuff. I've also seen, not confirmed, so pay attention, not confirmed, but possibly schools in other towns that's dealing with a lot of influx of illegals that are shutting down because it's just, whether it's threats or too much, overburdened, whatever it is. So there's that. Israeli news is reporting that the IDF is making plans to invade Lebanon and to take certain portions of southern Lebanon that Hezbollah controls, to seize that land and to, try to create a buffer between them, between Israel and Hezbollah. Now, that's another war. That's a Middle Eastern wider war that's going to happen if that happens. So we'll see how that pans out. Also in the news, remember the other day, it was last week, I believe, I don't know, it's all starting to run together now, but there was a possible bird flu H5N1 case in Missouri. I believe it was up in St. Louis. More stuff came out today. The CDC has done their investigation and tests, and they're saying that this person had no contact with wildlife, with farm animals, with birds, with cattle, none whatsoever. They cannot find that there was any connection whatsoever to obvious means of getting this virus. But there's more. They're saying that a close family member had symptoms, this is strange, had symptoms also of this H5N1, but was not tested and was not treated. So there's a possible spreader. But here's the big kicker. On the report, they're saying it is a virus like H5N1, but they're titling it as a novel influenza A virus. A novel influenza A virus. Not a lot of details on what they're meaning by that. Are they trying to insinuate that this is a new novel virus? New novel flu virus, H5N1, but it's bird flu, but it's novel. I don't know, but this one may be something to watch right in the heartland of America, right smack in the middle of the United States in St. Louis. So if, and I understand we're still in the big if category, but if this is some new type of bird flu that they're trying to spread around, and one person has it or had it and had no connection with any animals, and another person is reported in the family of having the same symptoms but was not treated or tested, then it's very possible that this thing could start spreading. Just wanted to throw that out there to you, because I know that so many of you are so excited to have another pandemic, right? Probably one of the bigger news that some people are following, talking about, and others don't seem to care about, is what's going on with Russia and NATO. So Ukraine has been wanting to use long-range weapons on Russia, inside, attack like Moscow and places like that, using long-range missiles. And they've been held back by NATO. And so now they are begging and pleading to be allowed to use long-range missiles inside NATO. It's being reported that the Biden administration is on the verge, possibly has already made the decision. Based on conversations publicly that Anthony Blinken has had, it does indicate that they're going to allow it, because he said that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said that, you know, they have known all along that they have to constantly change and amend their policy with Ukraine so that they can keep on the offense with Russia. Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau, has already given it their blessing, his blessing, saying that he thinks that they should use long-range missiles in Ukraine. And the Prime Minister of UK has already said that they can use United Kingdom's long-range missiles in Ukraine. So far, basically what I've seen out of the United States is they don't really care if they use them, but they're just not really wanting them to use United States long-range missiles. But that's what could change. Now, Vladimir Putin himself and the Russian ambassador to the United Nations, or whatever his name is, both have said in the last 24, 48 hours that if this happens, then this will be NATO going to war against Russia. Basically, Russia's trying to say that if you do this, it'll be like our Article 5, meaning that we consider now that NATO has declared war on Russia if you do this. This will be an expansion of the war. I made a video the other day on my locals channel, and I firmly believe that NATO, and especially the United States, wants a broader scale war with Russia. And they're trying everything they can to get that started without the West looking like the ones that started it. And so I think that they're pushing Ukraine. They're trying to make it look like they're not. They're trying to make it look like Ukraine is the one begging for this. But my heart, my gut tells me that it's more likely the case that the West is telling Ukraine, listen, you want us to keep doing this? You want us to keep pouring money and weapons into you, even though you can't really win this war? You need to do something to cause Russia to attack NATO. Then NATO can now be part of this war. I may be wrong, but I think that that's probably the case. Because there's indications over the last few months from Zelensky that he's kind of getting tired of this. He even said a few months back that Ukraine would be willing to give up some of their territory to Russia just to end this. Because they're running out of people. They may be getting lots of money and a lot of weapons, but they're running out of people. And no matter how much stuff you have, you're going to have people to win a war. So this is happening, a potential. I mean, it's been a little quiet for the most part in the Middle East. At least the news hasn't been covered it a lot, but now that's kind of getting going again. There's a lot of stuff going on. US dollar problems, illegals everywhere, every day now. Every day there's all kinds of talk. There's several countries in the United Kingdom, in Europe, that are finally realizing that they have a problem. Sweden, the Netherlands, a few others that are saying, we're either going to pay you, if you're an illegal here, we're going to pay you to leave, or we're going to put some strong restrictions on the problem. The thing is United States, just like Europe, it's beyond the point of just a simple fix. It really is. And when you're talking tens of millions, you can't just round them all up and send them back. And so the problem is just going to get worse. They're everywhere, and too many of them are doing harm. And so we have internal problems in this country, economic problems. We have an election that's it's an absolute clown show, and we've got two major wars getting ready to start. I forgot to mention the rumor mill is out that Navy SEALs are currently training. This was in the news, to be at war against China in Taiwan. So they're in Taiwan training there of how to do operations, whatever it is. I mean, that's very classified, top tier training there that they're doing, top tier group. But there's action all over the world, because it's like the world is getting ready for a big war, because the world knows that the systems are collapsing. And just like in the wild, when the big system starts to collapse and show weakness, the ones around it move in to try to take it out. And that's kind of in a nutshell what we're watching. You and I, it doesn't even matter which side you're on. We're gonna feel it either way. It's gonna greatly affect us. And you should not expect any type of outside help, because whatever help you could get from the government, it's gonna come at a great cost. So you need to be getting ready, get prepared. I'm not saying it's all gonna collapse this weekend or next month, but it is coming little by little, and you better be getting ready for it. Keep getting your houses in order, folks. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.